Bad graphics, short story, but price $70. Just clone of Diablo actually. Definitely not recommend. If you want to play this game genre, just go and play Diablo 3. It's a boring game. The action is so lousy, the story isn't even funny. Worst game like Gollum. Boring combat system, uninteresting companions, terrible location design. SJW. This is not a good RPG, but a marketing product. Oh Jesus Christ. So, it's a big and complex RPG. There are interwoven stories. There is a central narrative that becomes clearer as you progress. But, two things. Thing one, it isn't 1998 anymore. Didn't you get the facts? Sid Meier, the archangel of game design, said the process was easy. You make a game, and then take out the bits that aren't fun. Larian left in the not fun at all bits at every turn, and as a result, produced a perfect reproduction of a 1998 RPG. Thing 2, D&D is pretty terrible basis for a CRPG. CD Projekt Red's share price is still down about 70% compared with pre-Cyberpunk 2027. I don't think BG3 is a crash, it's just 60% as good as DOS 2, which was one of my top 10 games of all time. And anyway, Larian is privately held, so I guess they can continue to slide down the quality curve for a few more releases. Everything feels predefined. They react to a specific programming that means that if another player does exactly the same thing will happen. Yeah, no fucking shit, that's how video games work. The game is not fun, the controls is not good, the story is bad, the graphics is not up to par. The turn-based combat completely destroys immersion. Most overrated game in years. Bad game like the previous ones, without some cool CGs, but the gameplay is quite boring and tiring. I don't understand how it can be so acclaimed. I think Wasteland 3 is much better. The game is not for me. It repels with an overloaded interface. Entering the game world is time-consuming and requires a lot of analysis. I would expect an easier entry threshold. The camera is also bad. I guess the story mode buffs were not enough. Played until the Goblin Camp in Act 1. Found the fighting and leveling very unsatisfying. Character classes didn't seem very distinct. The rogue basically acted like a squishy caster/range class, just like the rest of the spellcasting group. It's a tiring game. Turn-based combat is one of the most unacceptable elements in terms of the year we are in. So yeah, any game devs out there making a turn-based game, I think you need to consider which elements are acceptable in terms of the year we are in. Ooh, we got another one here. Literally, any game where you play as a weirdo with elf ears and a giant axe or sword is a guaranteed critic darling, as long as it's playable. That doesn't surprise me, but what does surprise me is these COD-hating millennials calling this quality. Are you freaking kidding me? This outdated indie piece of garbage can't even let me do something as simple as opening doors in real time, and people want to call this quality? The greedy developers are charging $60 for an indie quality game. When I pay $60, I expect top-notch AAA quality. The graphics are PS3 quality, the animations are PS2 quality. The lighting is horrendous, the physics are beyond horrible. The lip syncing is a joke. The dialogue is cringeworthy. The textures in this game make me want to puke. The gameplay is boring and repetitive. The dice rolling is 2D animation based. The developers were too greedy and lazy to make 3D physics based dice rolling. I will not praise these developers for lack of microtransactions. They want me to praise them for that. They better add real-time online PvP. Until then, they are greedy and lazy, worse than EA. At least EA doesn't feel the need to resort to the laziest combat system possible for their full-priced games. They put actual combat in their games, not this cheap and lazy turn-based system. The game is okay. The gameplay and story are fine, but there is a huge problem with the game. There are no microtransactions. I love microtransactions. They are the best part of any game I play most of the time, and without them, the game just feels empty.